What is going on, guys? We are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about why 2497 went into a civil war and what our future plans are. So to start off, I think I should give a little history on 2497 and how it all started and whatnot. So me personally, this is my first time playing the game, so I had originally originated from 2497. So before there was MX97, there was a alliance called 1LC9, which is where Destiny Hero was originally the leader of and had recruited quite a bit of the MX players. Now unfortunately a lot have quit over the time span of the kingdom and whatnot, but originally it was 1LC9, and then we all had migrated on over to MX97 because it had a better location. The tech was better, I believe, but the only thing it was missing was higher level players, which 1LC9 we had that, so we ended up just joining the two alliances into what we know now as MX97. And then also there was another second alliance which is known as White Wolves, now WW, but before they were known as WW they began as JFBD, I believe. So fast forward to KVK1, we had a good KVK1, everyone was united and whatnot, and it actually went really good. We were allied with 2500, 2499, and that was it, I believe, and we had won that KVK, easily took down the opponents. There's a lot of civil wars going on in the other kingdoms, so they weren't as united as we were at the time. Then we fast forward another little bit to KVK2. So to give a little history on how the Lost Temple works, each KVK we were going to be trading off the King of Lost Temple from White Wolves to MX each time, each new KVK. So the first KVK, it was White Wolves that had the kingship, and then this KVK of KVK2, it is MX, but ultimately in KVK2, with bad placement and stronger opponents, we ultimately, after Pass 5, were defeated. But I believe a lot of the problems with the kingdom really didn't start festering until after Pass 5 opened and we started losing and everybody started retreating back to the starting zone of Lost Kingdom. There was a lot of T5 and T4 players, just a lot of people all around that were scared to lose troops, or they were just busy with real life stuff and whatnot. So when they came back after we lost, we had a Constantine MGE, which there were people that had either went on vacation or just didn't contribute at all that were complaining about not being in the MGE rankings when both leaders of White Wolves and MX had agreed upon the people that should be in the list. And ultimately there was a divide between some of the leaders of White Wolves because they believed that only MX had created the MGE list, because there was quite a bit of MX players in the MGE. But I'll show you guys the KVK stats right now on the screen. So how the MGE is decided who gets it in this kingdom in 2497 is by your participation in war. So in particular, there was this T5 player, part of leadership in White Wolves, called Dilly, that had gone on a camping trip or something. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but he missed KVK2, gave his account over to Yogi, which is the leader of White Wolves at the time, and had him play on his account while he was gone. And so when he came back and wasn't in the rankings for MGE for Constantine, he threw a fit, which I will post screenshots of that. And basically this is where I believe the divide between MX and White Wolves had started to really go apart a little bit, because there were some other people in White Wolves that didn't agree with what MX was doing. This KVK has with leadership or with kingship. So then if we go a little bit forward after that, because of all the drama that had been created with the whole MGE rankings and whatnot, both Destiny Hero and Yogi, the leaders of WW and MX, decided to step down to let somebody else lead to try to help unite the kingdom, because ultimately that was their end goal. They didn't want to try to create a divide in the kingdom, because at the time a lot of people were siding with either White Wolves or MX rather than just being one united kingdom where you can just go wherever and feel welcomed anywhere. So after that, Chaos became MX97's leadership, and then Bex, I believe, had become White Wolves leadership. And so after that, I think they decided to start passing the king title each week, and up until KVK 3, I guess, and then White Wolves would have been the kings for all of KVK 4 or all of KVK 3, I believe. About a couple weeks after the new leadership had been determined, people were still pointing fingers at Destiny Hero for ruining the kingdom and dividing it. And there's a lot of people that were wanting him to leave the kingdom so that way they can become united again, as if that would have done anything, even though he wasn't even R4, he was just a R3, just roaming to different alliances and whatnot, probably just to hang out, see how everyone's doing. But everybody was still pointing fingers at him for trying to take the kingdom down. So here we are now of yesterday's footage of our civil war, and what originally the plan was, I believe, was to occupy Lost Temple. I'm not sure what would have happened after we got Lost Temple, but our main goal was just to occupy Lost Temple, and we weren't gonna hit anybody's cities. White Wolves actually began rallying our cities, so that is what started the whole us rallying other people's cities as well. But ultimately, White Wolves managed to keep the Lost Temple, and we had MX leadership as a whole decided to, instead of staying in the kingdom and try to rebuild, which there's really just no hope of rebuilding or anything, with there's just been too much bloodshed and drama and whatnot, and bridges burned, so we had just decided to look for a different kingdom to migrate to, which we have found a different kingdom. Majority of MX is planning to migrate over with some other people from different alliances in 97. So I'm not gonna say what kingdom we are migrating over to in this video. I'll be waiting until we have officially migrated, and then I'll make a whole video about that, or I'll go live, so make sure to stay updated on that. But anyways, after the rallying of the Lost Temple had been done, some of MX and some of White Wolves, we just rallied back and forth. It was mainly the whales of White Wolves rallying our whales, and some of the like 30 mil people, and then MX was also vice versa, mainly rallying people that were just being toxic the whole time. But yeah, obviously civil wars are not good for the kingdom or anything. 2497, I believe, will just go into an abyss and turn into a dead kingdom sooner or later. I don't see them winning KVK 3 unless like they get a lower seed. The problem with them trying to win any more KVKs is a lot of their T5 players that didn't even really contribute this KVK, which I'll post screenshots of their T5 players and what their power is and what their kill points are, which there is a 90 million T5 player in White Wolves that I believe is under 200k kill points, at least from yesterday when I seen he was under 200k kill points, which is pretty pathetic. I mean, my kill points are at like 61 million, but I'm only like 28 million power. This is my first time playing, so, and I only have T4, so I think I'm doing pretty good other than that. Also, with the KVK stats, you can see that Destiny Hero and Chaos were top 2, and I'm pretty sure these stats were taken just after Pass 5, so any fighting after that between 2500 and 2497 and whatnot, just like the little fights that was going on, any of that I don't think was tracked for this. It was only after the end of Pass 5 fighting was tracked, which is ultimately what mattered the most, because that was the deciding factor of whether we were going back to Home Kingdom or whether we were going to fight more of KVK 2. But yeah, you can see that they had done the most during the Pass 5 fighting, but everyone was just pointing fingers and whatnot. It's just a lot of he said, she said, not really any actual hard facts coming out. It's just a mess in the kingdom. So it used to be a good kingdom before KVK 2. I feel like KVK 2 really just too much had gone down to repair it. It is past the point of repair. So this new kingdom, though, it is looking very promising. It'll be nice to get away from a lot of the toxicity and just start fresh and start working on powering up more. So I'm going to be having a lot more content once we actually get moved over to that kingdom, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Definitely subscribe so that way you can stay up to date on what is going on there, and also be looking out for the live streams, because I will probably be live streaming the day that we migrate into the kingdom, or a little bit after, to get the migration stuff over with, and then once I'm settled in, go live. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts of this civil war. Obviously, everybody has their own thoughts, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to them. This is just from my point of view, what I have noticed and what I have gathered from information about what has been going on in this kingdom. So I hope that this gives a little bit more insight into the kingdom and why there was civil war and understanding of why MX did it and the things that White Wolves had attributed to. I'm not saying that it was just White Wolves was the whole problem. Obviously, MX had some of its flaws too. Everybody has their flaws, but it's just those two alliances are just not going to coexist in 2497 anymore. So the best thing to do is to just break off and go to a whole new kingdom. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely like and subscribe. Also comment down below, let me know all your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.